that I will never find a home in the houses you built on it. When you're staring out across the sea, do you see me? I figured all the ships had sailed away from us.
So recently one of my followers asked me what I eat in the van, and thank you so much for asking, and please feel free to ask any questions because it gives me inspiration for videos, so I'm very open to feedback. But yes, so I just thought I'd take you through a couple of meals that are pretty much like staples that I have in the van, and then other things that I might buy from the shops as well. I do admit that I eat out a lot, mainly because I hate cooking. But yeah, I start my day off with the same breakfast every day. So I get the kettle going straight away and then I do the dishes from the day before. I drink white tea, which is like a younger leaf of tea. It's not, the caffeine in it isn't as high. I used to drink a lot of green tea, but my nervous system can't take all of that caffeine from green tea anymore. So I get that going first thing. And then I make myself what I like to call eggy bread. So I got to a point in my life where I needed to get more protein into my day, and I do eat meat, but not a lot of red meat. So I just have 1 or 2 eggs, depending on how hungry I am, and I crack them and whisk them, and then I have gluten-free bread. And so I'm not gluten intolerant, but I feel a lot better when I eat gluten-free. So yeah, then I just dip that in the egg, soak it for a little bit, and kind of like French toast. And then I put it on my little George Foreman grill, which I love this grill. It's so amazing. There's some hair in my food, which happens quite often. I should be wearing a hairnet. And yeah, then once I've got that on the grill, make sure I don't waste any egg, and I just put a bit of nutmeg on there for a little bit of flavouring. And this is my best version of Nigella Lawson doing a nice sexy shake in slow motion of my nutmeg onto my eggy bread. The reason I love this George Foreman grill so much is because A, it's only like $50 to buy from Myers. I think you can get it cheaper from Retrovision, but it cooks from both sides. So when I'm cooking meats and things like that, it takes a lot less power to do that. I can cook toast in it. Yeah, lots of things. So it's really versatile. And then I always have a bit of fruit with my breakfast as well. So, and then a bit of honey on the toast as well to give it a bit sweet flavour. As you can tell, I've got a sweet tooth. But yeah, I generally store like melons, or I love it when it's mango season. I've always, rather than honey, I'll just put mango on top of the toast. So yeah, that's my breakfast in a nutshell. I don't operate very well without my cup of tea in the morning. So if you do see me on the road and it's really early, maybe just, wait till 10 a.m. or something before you say hi. So I do need to be mindful of space when I'm buying food. Obviously my fridge is only quite small, and I do like to eat fresh fruit and veg a fair bit. So yeah, and then obviously I've got to fit meats in there as well. None of which you're actually witnessing me purchase here, by the way. I had just done all my fresh fruit and veg shop, so this is just other bits and pieces to keep me going. I do need to keep things like bread in the fridge because it does go mouldy in the van if I leave it out with all the heat. So wintertime it's fine, but yeah, generally in warmer weather that's what I need to do. So another staple meal for me in the van is crumb chicken. I usually buy tenderloins and then I've just got strips of crumb chicken, and it's great because I can have it as a meal when I initially cook it, but I can do the whole packet as a batch and that'll last me for a couple of days with different meals. So it's really great to eat on the go. So if I'm traveling a lot, I can just eat the cold chicken with cucumber or something, and so it's a quick, healthy meal that I've got there ready to go. Alternatively, I can actually put it back on the grill and heat it up again, and just have it with honey drizzled over the top. So it's kind of like honey chicken. Or I can heat it up and put it in a toasty sandwich or something like that. So normally with crumb chicken, I would sort of shallow fry it in a pan. And I can do that in my induction cooktop, but it does take quite a while to do that. So I've worked out a bit of a cheats way to do it using my George Foreman grill. And this is really technical Christie's cooking class. So you're just so lucky you're getting all this information for free. But I start the process by just dipping the chicken tenderloins into the egg and then crumbing them. And then I will obviously make sure I do my dishes as I go along to make sure I keep room. And I only actually have a couple of pieces of each item of dinnerware and cutlery and whatnot in the van, so I need to make sure I sort of wash as I go. It's kind of a good thing doing it that way. Then to try and shallow fry the chicken in the George Foreman, I actually take some oil and put it in the bowl, and then I dip the chicken directly into the oil, so that way I'm covering the chicken and not wasting as much oil. Then I put that in the grill, and obviously the grill is designed for oils to drip away, and it's supposed to be a healthier grill. So it still works well enough because the oil is actually directly on the chicken. It's still browning it quite well, but not to the point where the oil is disgusting, so the excess oil will still drip away. I do still put the chicken in paper towels on the top and the bottom when I'm done. And if I don't want to cook as much chicken, if I'm not that hungry or I don't have time, I'll just put it as it is in the fridge to cook later. And that'll last for a day or two like that, no problem. And then obviously once you've cooked something, that's another 3 days, that you can really leave it there for. And so yes, I think I mentioned before, like I might choose to just put it on a plate and drizzle some honey over the top of the chicken and then just maybe have a few greens on the side or something. But today I've just decided I'm going to magically create a salad from some coleslaw mix and cucumber. And this is my app that shows me how much power I've used. So as you can see, the grill doesn't really drop it down too much because it was still at under 100% when I started. So that, in a nutshell, is some of the things I eat in the van. I do have to admit I really miss meals like gnocchi and risotto, because I make my own risotto and gnocchi because I don't make gnocchi from scratch. I don't like creamy, saucy things. My body doesn't tolerate it, so I like to make those meals myself, and I don't have a gas cooker in the van, so whilst I could use my induction cooktop, it's not feasible because I can't put it up high enough to really boil things, so it would take forever, it would chew too much of my battery, so it's just not feasible. And I don't carry gas because I just have a paranoia about it. I don't have, in Australia you're actually supposed to carry gas on the outside of your vehicle anyway, but I don't have a spot for that, so I could get the little canisters, but I find those are really wasteful because, I don't know, you might get 2 or 3 days use out of them and then you throw the can away, and that to me, like I'm trying to reduce waste where possible. So and I don't like, if it starts to leak in the van overnight, I could get in trouble, be in trouble. So that's the reason I don't have gas. The little George Foreman cooktop is amazing. It's just been the bomb for me. I do sometimes, I try to stretch my meals out that I do buy. So if I buy a full pizza, I might eat half of it and then the other half I'll reheat later because I don't eat large portions. Sometimes I'll go to a restaurant and I will get them just like a side serving of mashed potato and steamed veggies because for some reason restaurants just make them taste so good, and it's so good to eat that nice hearty warm cooked vegetables once in a while. Yeah, so I do really miss that, but on the flip side, I hate cooking, so I don't have to worry about doing that. So it's an excuse to buy food out. Yeah, so that's what I eat on the road. I am a sucker for bakery stuff, I have to admit. I do cheat on my diet, and I do buy lamingtons and custard tarts and things because I am human. But yeah, I try not to do it too often because otherwise I'll be paying for it later. So yeah, it's a good lifestyle. I think living in a van, you like your domestic chores are a lot less than if you're in a house. But on the flip side, also I have less bench space to work with when I'm cooking, and I wash dishes as I go because it's just easier it keeps things cleaner and tidier and gives me more room. So yeah, that's what I eat on the road. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you haven't met me before, my name is Christy. I live, work and travel Australia in my van Gypsy. I am an artist, and my artwork is available as prints or on t-shirts and bags on my website. The link is in my bio.